Well, after getting diagnosed with a serious disease, one local man decided, I'm going to go back to college. And now he's got a novel. And now he's sitting down with Courtney Dempsey on our Good Day stage. We are learning so much more about him. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. This is Grant Von Pine. He is the author of this book. It's called The Promise. And we'll get into the book in just one second. But Grant, I want to go back to a diagnosis that you got for PAH, which stands for
pulmonary arterial hypertension.
Okay, and it's a rare disease disorder, but you found out about it, about 3 years ago?
About 3 years ago, yeah.
But prior to that, no one knew what was going on with you?
No.
What symptoms were you having?
Well, prior to my diagnosis, the symptoms I was having was like I couldn't walk maybe 10 or 15 feet without fainting and having a seizure or something like that. My feet were swollen. I couldn't
From edema?
From edema, yeah. It felt like I was walking on golf balls and I couldn't put my shoes on. I was hospitalized several times and basically sent home so they didn't know what was going on.
What was going on, yeah. So finally, long story short, you were able to get to UC Davis.
Yes.
And you have a pulmonologist there who figured out that you have PAH. Now, we've got a video from the American Lung Association that kind of explains what PAH is. What is it?
What happens is the pulmonary arteries in your lungs get restricted for whatever reason. That's why they haven't figured that out. But your heart, the right ventricle of your heart is trying to push the blood through those restricted arteries, and it gets enlarged from the backflow.
Okay.
And so it causes respiratory problems. Can't breathe. Can't do anything without being able to breathe. And also, I mean, if you can't, your respiratory, if you can't breathe, it's your.
And it's just a cycle of different things start happening.
It is, and it needs, it's because it's so rare. I mean, the symptoms of that. Sorry.
No.
Symptoms of that mimic the symptoms of several other diseases. That's why it's so hard to diagnose. Yes, and so you're lucky. It's you have to be proactive, of course, in your own health, and with your doctor's help, you can go through the processes of getting diagnosed, which you need a right heart catheterization and stuff like that to get into your heart and find out what's going on.
So thank goodness you have gotten to the other side of this, where you now know what it is, and your doctor is working with you. You said it's like we're married, because now you guys have a plan and step by step, and you've also decided to go back to school, right?
I did.
To get your degree in English.
I have, yes.
All right. So now one of your professors suggested that you write a book and incorporate the character who has PAH into your story.
Right. And so that's the main character of the story. Jack Shoughton, shout out Jack Shoughton. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him, yeah.
Anyway, so the character in the story has PAH, and so the story centered around him, but not the disease. I incorporated him having a disease in a way so it's not too distracting from the story. So if people are interested about it, they can learn, do some research and find more about it. And also, if you're not interested in it, it's just a great story to read.
It's a great story, yeah. Even if you do say so yourself.
I would know.
I love it. And you said the reason why you wanted to incorporate the character in your story is because it needed to be kind of brought to the forefront.
What it does is it gives a voice to the PAH community, and that people can learn from, and also the people that have disease can relate to.
Sure. And you found a support group locally.
I did. It's at the Kiwani's house over on X Street and 40 something.
Okay.
Over there, and anybody's welcome to come by. The meetings it's hit or miss right now because having a rare disease, your support group is kind of small.
It's small, yeah, for sure.
So things happen and people come from all around, and sometimes we can make it and sometimes we can't, but there's a website for it and stuff.
Okay, and we're going to link all that to our website as well, so that you can get more information about PAH, the support group that's local, as well as The Promise by Grant Von Pine. I think the other thing that is huge to think about with this whole story is that it's easy to get frustrated when you have a health condition that no one can figure out what it is, right? But if you've got a doctor, if you are, diligent with your own health and making sure that you stay on it and stay with your doctor, have communication and keep talking about it, you can kind of get to a place where now it's manageable, which is where I think you are now.
Absolutely. You have to ask the right questions. And that's why this is why today is so important. Where people might have the symptoms of, it's important to ask the right questions.
Absolutely,
You know,
yeah.
because the doctors, and they even if they don't know, they can steer you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
At least get tested to rule out the possibility
There
of
it is.
having this disease, because if it goes unnoticed, it can be life-threatening.
As with anything, being your own health advocate is super important, super important. All right, Grant, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All the details are on the website for the
Yes.
book, The Promise. By the way, stingers up.
Oh, hold
Oh,
on.
there's the hat. Put
Hold
it
on.
on. Put it on.
Fingers up.
There it is.
Got a lot of hornet alum around here. I love it. Thank you, Grant.
Oh,
Thanks.
what a wonderful interview. Courtney, thank you. Grant, thanks for being
Awesome.
in. Wonderful
Thanks.
story. Thanks for spreading awareness, too.